Chapter 1. When I grow up, I will make contributions like my senior sister and become the glory of Tyant's Mansion. You silly girl. Don't you want your senior brother? Touching the little girl, the young man who had just left the training ground shouted that it was unfair. You are too partial, who took you back to Tyant's Mansion and raised you like this. Well, she has been living in Tyant's Mansion since she can remember. Her senior brother said that it was him who rescued her in the snowy day, and when he said it, he pretended to be exhausted from hard work with a tear that didn't exist. She was fooled many times, and now she will never be fooled. I can't live anymore. My junior sister doesn't want me anymore. The young boy who just barely managed to roll on the ground was uncomfortable rolling in his hard armor, so he had to do the next best thing and use a loud door to create the illusion that he was miserable. It makes me so sad. I remember back then, in the ice and snow, the naked senior brother was still digging grass roots. He heard the cries of babies about to die in the distance. When he crawled over in embarrassment, he saw you in the wind and rain. Wasn't it ice and snow before? Why did it suddenly become windy and rainy? Senior sister complained at the side. Little junior sister, don't believe this guy. He is a military ruffian. In front of others, he is a mighty Tyant's general, but behind others, he is always a swindler. No wonder the girl with a hidden sword by the Westlake doesn't like him. The little guy's cat eyes, which were originally wide open and about to cry, narrowed in an instant. Humph, senior brother. You lied to me again. I will never believe you again. He grabbed his gun and went over to poke him a few times. You're still running. Stop. Come on, come on. He was jumping to prevent the little guy from poking him. It was not a wooden gun. It was made of fine steel and could be pierced with one poke. You're about to catch me. Senior brother will buy you candied haws. Huh. You have no grace, senior brother. No wonder sister Yi doesn't like you. Hey, even though your last name is hers, you can't treat senior brother like this. It was really senior brother who picked you up from the ice and snow. Xiao Xue, senior sister, help me. Xiao Xue is going to die. I don't care. He vowed to stab his senior brother and make him cheat again. Time flies and the time flies by. The cute little girl with cat eyes. Yifan Xue is now over 13 years old and can stand alone and hold on to Tyant's Mansion. Abide by government rules and be strict with yourself. He studied under Yang Ning with his senior brother. One of the two brothers and sisters learned a lot about Yang Ning's naive and unconventional character, while the other one became very successful in spear skills. Hey, junior sister. T-Sich, do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Why did she string candied haws on a stick? General Xianwei is looking for you, senior brother. You can't hide. He accepted the candied haws. It was the best thing to eat for free, and he could eat while watching his senior brother embark on the road to death. Just thinking about it made me feel happy. Why did she find General Xianwei? Deserved it. Junior sister, my dear Xiao Xue, your look of watching a good show hurt senior brother's heart so much. Please go with senior brother. I don't want to. There's no point in trying to lie. If you don't go, even the commander will know about it. The commander is not. The commander will return home in another hour. No matter what, just die. Blind walked out, turned around and smiled at his junior sister. Hey. He was not happy, and he would never let his junior sister stand happily watching the show. In the 14th year of Tianbao, and Lushan and Shi Siming rebelled. Under the leadership of Commander Li Qinzhen, the Tyant's Mansion devoted all its efforts to protect the Tang dynasty. Yifan Xue and his senior brothers had been trapped in Tyant's Mansion for 3 years, fighting to the death with Shentz and the Lengjia army. Xiao Xue. The young man covered in blood tried to hold on to his injuries. Hurry up. Tyant's Mansion can't hold on anymore. They don't even have a chance to break out now. As a senior brother, they can only do their best to protect their junior sister from here. She is only 16 years old and has not even passed her birthday yet. How can she? Senior brother, I won't leave. Even though she was scarred, she would not leave her senior brother and subordinates and run away. I will break up the rear, and you lead the people to fight out. What are you talking about? Being trapped in Tyant's mansion, they completely lost the news from the outside world. However, during this period, Shentz and the Lengya army seemed to be trying to defeat their last psychological defense line. They kept letting them know that the current imperial court had several sects that could not protect themselves, and some of them had been wiped out. Tyant's mansion cannot escape this death disaster. Let's go. He took the spear from Yi Fanchua's hand, handed her his broken soul, and gave her a Tao Sun at the same time. Live well. Then he swept down several of the pursuers behind him with a sweep of his spear, and pushed the still struggling Yi Fanchua into the moat. Senior brother. In the firelight that filled the sky, the seriously injured man became the last seen in her eyes, and then everything about her was submerged in water. Maybe she could leave Tyant's mansion and reach Luoyang by relying on the moat, but now she is also hungry and seriously injured, not to mention that Luoyang has fallen. Even if she escapes from here with a narrow escape, she will still be in Luoyang. Darkness strikes, and the powerless girl gradually sinks to the bottom of the river. In the same year, Tyant's mansion was destroyed. Staring at Yendi on the screen, she took a deep breath. It took her a year to complete this farewell MV, and she also typed out her farewell words when she posted the video on jasantonghao.com. This is Jia Jian's only work in 3 or 4 years. It took her 7 months to model the character of the protagonist, Yi Fanchua. She really understands the feelings of those writers and painters calling the carefully drawn characters their sons and daughters. Yi Fanchua can be said to be her biggest longing and her beloved daughter. The forum was flooded with wailing sounds. Such a big tragedy was released during the Chinese New Year, which was very sad for the body and mind. In addition, I also had time to spare, so the number of views was much higher than other posts. At the last glance at the author's conclusion, they all wish the PO who is about to marry in country are a happy life. 8 years later, Country R. Spring cherry blossom viewing is an indispensable and important event in our country. A romantic date or a warm family gathering under the cherry blossom trees is what many people look forward to. The girl who is not familiar with the place she was originally married to in our country is now a young woman in her 30s with the grace of a mature woman. What has not changed is that she is still as innocent, romantic, and mature as she was 8 years ago. Wang Yue walked slower. The elegant man followed behind, fearing that his happy wife would fall into a pit while walking like before. This bad temperament for walking really gave him a headache. Be careful. Xianjia, come quickly. Hey, you have such a temper. Fortunately, they have been married for 8 years and have no children. Otherwise, his wife will teach him bad things. Be careful. Just after finishing his emotion, he saw her fall down, and she was so frightened that she couldn't stand still. It would be very troublesome if something happened here. His wife didn't like the crowded Cherry Blossom Avenue, so he specially found this old mountain where few people come. There are also few cherry blossoms here, but the environment is better, and the few cherry trees are right by the lake. After he came here with his grandfather when he was very young, he gradually forgot about this place. If his wife hadn't complained this year that it was too painful to watch the cherry blossoms in crowds, he would not have been able to remember such a place. Before he could run over, the screams that filled the sky even louder made him panic, and he ran over quickly, lest his wife be hurt at all. Staring with wide eyes in disbelief at Xiao Tuanzi lying by the lake, even if 8 years had passed, and even though she had never seen such a real armor in reality, she could still recognize it at a glance. It was her favorite military uniform, Jian San's Nanhuang suit, and the blue spear that Xiao Tuanzi held tightly but could not hold in his young hands, Broken Soul. She carefully pulled out the little dumpling from the Nanhuang suit. She was a 7 or 8-year-old girl with delicate appearance. Even if her eyes were closed, she knew how beautiful they would be when they were opened. She would have black eyes with cat-like pupils. All of this, she did not leave in the past with the passage of time. On the contrary, when she first came to Japan, she often watched her farewell music videos to cheer herself up and encourage her to work hard to integrate into life here. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Mochizuki, this child is... This pile of things looked very familiar. I usually glanced at the video that my wife pulled out, which she claimed was her life's masterpiece. Looking at it now, the clarity was far less than the current video, but the nostalgia in his wife's eyes made him feel a little distressed. It was one of the spiritual sustenances that supported her integration into the life here. Xiangjia, do you believe in time travel? The fangirl who's been around for many years and still has contact with her now has a surprisingly high acceptance of the word time travel. Perhaps we don't have a child because this child is our daughter. The young girl was still in a daze, murmuring, "Senior brother." The words made Kamaya Mochizuki's heart even more excited, and her eyes were filled with the image of this child. Look at her, how beautiful she is. When she opens her eyes will be even more beautiful. Xiangjia, this is our child. She was more excited than anyone else. The daughter she created could travel through time and space and come to her. Xiangjia, let's raise her, and I will treat her well. Yeah. I don't quite understand my wife's excitement. They have not had children for so many years, which has put her under a lot of pressure. Maybe having this child will make my wife happier. I know what to do. The unknown origin doesn't matter. It can be done. From then on, the Kamaya family had a daughter that the couple held carefully in their palms and held in their mouths for fear of turning. Kamaya Mochizuki immediately closed the flower shop and stayed by Yifan Chua's bedside. Even if the doctor said she was just too weak and had no other major health problems, she couldn't let go. No one knows the original setting better than her as the author. Yifan Chua and her senior brother were trapped in Tyant's mansion for 3 years. In the end, they didn't even have food, so they were forced to fight their way out. Unfortunately, Mochizuki, the house is already being renovated. Do you plan to have the child stay in the hospital for a month? Kamaya Sosuke came over after work and brought dinner. The child still hasn't woken up? Well, she is a very strong person and will not be depressed. As long as she wakes up. As expected, it was her daughter, who could understand Yifan Chua better than her. Xiangjia, thank you. Don't say that. You are my wife and she is my daughter. It's great to have you. She regained her good mood. By the way, have you told your parents? I told you. They said they would take the child home when he wakes up. Shuli's face suddenly darkened. My parents won't accept her. What are you talking about? They like you very much. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kidnapped you from China so smoothly. Of course, I'm the best. Yes, you are the best in my heart. He patted her shoulder and pulled her into his arms. My father and mother really want to see this child. By the way, they also requested that her name be changed to Kamaya Fonchua and recorded in the family tree. Really? After receiving a positive nod from her husband, she became even happier. We will go back when she wakes up. Chapter 2. 10 days later. The groggy Yifan Chua woke up from the darkness, and everything he saw was white, a strange world. A woman saw her open her eyes and quickly went out, saying words she didn't understand. There was something weird about this place, and what the hell was it? Her throat hurt like fire. She raised her hand to cover it, but she discovered something that shocked her. Why had her hand become so small? Hearing that Yifan Chua had woken up, Kamaya Mochizuki rushed into the ward immediately and went straight to her bedside. Are you okay, Fonchua? Unlike the Japanese of the doctors and nurses, her Chinese was easily accepted. Who are you? He had a guarded look on his face, and even the ring in his hand was ready to hit at any time. Luckily. She thought Yifan Chua could speak the Mandarin of the Tang Dynasty, but she couldn't understand it at all even if she was Chinese. I hope you're fine. My name is Kamaya Mochizuki. Do you know my name? Where is this place? Relax first and listen to me. As expected of her daughter, the brave military girl of Tyant's mansion can still treat her calmly in a strange environment. She believes that even if Mount Tai collapses, Yi Fanxue will not blink an eye. You drink water first. He carefully poured a glass for her and slowly told the story of how he picked her up and brought her here to recover. You mean you know me, but you don't know why I came here or why I became a child, and you will be my mother from now on? Only a 3-year-old child would believe this kind of nonsense. Yi Fanxue turned coldly. Do you think I will believe it? Even if they have no problem communicating with each other through language, it is not enough to show that she is trustworthy. Believe me for once. Look, I know that the stone in your hand belongs to your sister-in-law, and the broken soul belongs to your senior brother, and I also know your name. This is the 20th century, not the Tang dynasty you are familiar with. More than 1,000 years have passed. He took out the mobile phone and other things on his body and placed them in front of her. Please believe me, I am really familiar with you, and I will not harm you. You must have never seen these things. This is an invention in the past few decades, and it is completely different from ancient times. Just leave me alone. Then I'll turn on the TV for you. Sitting quietly in the ward alone, Kamaya Mochizuki tuned her to the international news channel, leaving Yi Fanxue dumbfounded. What world has she come to? Why is Kamaya Mochizuki so familiar with her affairs? It's not that we can't see the hope and happiness in Kamaya Mochizuki's eyes. Although she is only 16 years old, she can see human nature at a glance due to Tyant's mansion's years of teaching and the baptism of war. The 3 years she was trapped in Tyant's mansion allowed her to grow rapidly, but in the blink of an eye, she discovered that she had arrived in a world 1,000 years later. She didn't believe what the ghosts and God said, but the facts were before her eyes, but she couldn't help denying it. This was not something that could be created in her time, and it was not the work of the Shen's army and the Wolf Feng army. They would not waste their efforts to create such an environment to deceive her. Because Tyant's mansion does not admit or change the facts, and its decline is inevitable. Mochizuki, will she really accept it? Kamaya Zyangsuk only knew that she was an ancient person from more than 1,300 years ago, and he didn't know as much as Kamaya Mochizuki. It was really unacceptable to hear this. If I hadn't checked her information, I still wouldn't believe it. Don't worry, she is my daughter. The perfect character she created. It will be fine after a while. I hope, as you said, I will arrange an identity for her. Thank you for the introduction. I heard about the sensation caused in the Kamaya family by marrying her, a woman from a foreign country, against all objections after she got married. Until now, she thinks that with Xiang Jie and Fan Shui, she is the happiest person in the world. Xianjie, really. What nonsense are you talking about? You are the one I fell in love with at first glance. Why didn't he know how hard she had gone through, abandoning the familiar environment, relatives and friends, and coming to a strange country alone? And his family was not a small family. The rejection she received at the beginning made her painful and confused, but fortunately, they persisted. You can educate that child more. I will keep her affairs a secret and treat her as our biological daughter. Of course, she is really my daughter. Okay, I'm going to get busy first. Yi Fanxue lay on the hospital bed for 3 days. Under the indoctrination of Kamaya Mochizuki, she understood the structure and situation of the current world. She knew that this was different from the time and space she lived in. She also knew what time travel, supernatural beings, and supernatural beings meant. The level of acceptance was so high that Kamaya looked beyond the moon and was so happy. He knew that the military girl of Dacian's mansion was someone who would never change her original intention in the face of any adversity. Then, I'll take care of you from now on. Call me Mom. Yi Fanxue's eyes darkened, and she stared at Xingu Wangyue. She didn't speak, just stared at her quietly. After all, even if you are old enough, I am old enough to be your mother. In ancient times, women got married and had children early. At 16, she might be the mother of several children. The more she thought about it, the more confident Kamaya Mochizuki became, so she stared back as a matter of course. If you don't call me Mom, how can I register for you in the future? Haku. It's the borrower. Oh, Mother. How indifferent are you? Kamaya Mochizuki discovered that the daughter she created did not fully understand her. According to her imagination, Yifan Xue should have struggled repeatedly not to accept the fact, but slowly accepted it under her persuasion, and finally called her mother during a touching birthday. Is it that simple? What else do you want? So cute, Xiao Xue. You'll be my daughter from now on. She hugged her and said, "Don't worry, I only have you as my daughter." She squeezed her face well and hugged her little dumpling, so satisfied. Is this woman crazy? Yifan Xue decided to wait until she regained her strength and throw her away if she hugged her like this again. After she regained her strength, this decision was unknowingly downplayed or even forgotten. Kamaya and his wife had a clear assignment of tasks. Kamaya Mochizuki was responsible for teaching Yifan Xue simple Japanese and some modern common sense at home, trying to make Yifan Xue look like a modern child. Kamaya Zhangsuk left the company's affairs to his eldest brother to worry about and concentrated on running up household loans for Yifan Xue, trying to compile her information without flaws. The content of the family meeting after dinner was very simple regarding Yifan Xue's name change and inclusion in the family tree, as well as future enrollment issues. Upper private school? You can put it that way. Mochizuki was not sure about this either. This was something that could be ignored. Can you not go? I want to practice. Her internal strength was basically zero, and she couldn't even lift the broken soul. How could her pride be lost like this? Kamaya Sosuke spread out a few pieces of paper. My father's suggestion is that we take our children to Kanagawa. There are elders we know working in the police station. It is easy to issue a certificate. We can just make up for the insurance then. Huh. Luckily, it's relatively simple. I don't have an ID card. Kamaya Mochizuki looked at the documents and thought it was fairly easy. Most people can get it done if they have a driver's license. If they don't have a driver's license, they need insurance. Yifan Xue is only 8 years old now and can't get a driver's license. It's a little difficult to get insurance in Tokyo. It's not that the Kamaya family can't do it. They just consider her a child and have it listed on the family tree, so they have to use foolproof methods to protect her. Well, there are many advantages to taking Shayuki to Kanagawa. You can go to junior high school and high school at Rikkai University in the future. Rikkai University's university is also very good. If you can get into Tokyo University, we will come back to Tokyo. Yeah. After reading this part of the information carefully, she has gained a certain understanding of the world through popular science these days. Different from her time, jobs here require diplomas and academic qualifications. Japan's usual elite education requires hard work from an early age to ensure that the school will be good in the future. It's up to you, Father. It's so stress-free to scream. Kamaya Mochizuki, who was whispering on the side, didn't notice that the two of them turned to look at her and only reacted when they were under pressure. Xiao Xue, you don't act like a child at all. I'm 16, but you're only 8 now. Are you 12 years old when you go to junior high school? Yes. The father and daughter ignored the mother who was having convulsions and got together to study the information. I don't want to go to elementary school. Why? The language is not good enough, and I have basically no common sense. Besides, I have to practice martial arts and need to resume my martial arts as soon as possible. That's true. It would be more troublesome to throw her into an elementary school so rashly. Let's go to Kanagawa first. The house there has been renovated a long time ago. I will renovate the Japanese-style room and set it up as a training room for you, okay? After that, I will hire tutors and ask them to come and teach you on time. You will learn a lot in 4 years. I will send you to Rikkai Junior High School when you are 12 years old. It makes sense, let's do it. Then I'll write it down first. He wrote and completed the plan. By the way, your mother has ordered a detachable gun for you and will send it directly to Kanagawa. You will like it. Thank you, Mother. Turning around, he saw a certain mother rolling around on the ground, seemingly for a long time. Hey, have you had enough? I don't care. Xiao Xue doesn't love her mother anymore. You? Yi Fanxue has never met such a shameless person. I lost you. Watch the moon and pay attention to your image. Kamaya Mochizuki, who finally had enough, sat pitifully next to her husband. Xiaoye, why is your kneeling posture more standard than mine? There were no chairs in our time. Did she understand or not? He knew about Tian's mansion and other sects, and he was also familiar with the Tang dynasty, but he didn't know that they didn't have a chair at that time. In order to train the mind, there is no bed in Tian's mansion. He lowered his head and grabbed the pen, writing awkwardly in the posture of holding a brush. No, this is how you have to hold your pen now. If you can calligraphy, I will order you a set of the 4 treasures of the study room. Do you want anything else? Do you want to order a bunch of military books for you? Well, thank you. Let me play Go, by the way. Can you play? Huh? Why do you play Go? Do you think all of us in Tian's mansion are illiterate? Of course not. How could she admit that everyone had such sex? The military gangsters were pretty good, but some went too far and directly turned Tian's mansion into a hot-blooded sect that only knew how to fight. If Yi Fanxue knew about this, he would definitely shoot her into candied haws. Chapter 3. Before leaving Tokyo, Kamaya Xiangsuk took his wife and daughter back to his family and introduced Yi Fanxue to his parents. From today on, her name will be Kamaya Fanxue, the eldest daughter of the second son of the Kamaya family. Before her, the Kamaya family only had one son from her uncle's family. He is 9 years old this year and named Kamaya Nakaho. Kamaya's main family is considered a mansion in Tokyo, but unfortunately, heirs have never been prosperous. In Kamaya Sisuk's generation, there are only his eldest brother and him. Fortunately, his eldest brother Kamaya Ehara is more capable and takes care of most of the family affairs, so that his younger brother Sisuk can breathe and prevent the 2 brothers from being crushed to death by official duties. The brown-haired little boy had been waiting at the gate for a long time. From time to time, he would move his clothes or arrange his hair. He nervously raised his head and pulled his mother's hand. Mom, will my little sister like me like this? Of course, my little sister will like you as a brother very much. The news that my uncle had picked up a child had already reached their ears. Like his wife, he was Chinese. Their family had no reaction to this. When Xiang proposed the marriage, Ehara pressured him to ensure that the 2 of them could get married. Zhang He should be good to his sister and not let bad boys bully her. Well, will my sister go to school with me? I will protect her well. Facing her son's expectant eyes, Kamaya Tetsuko didn't know how to respond to him. My sister will go to Kanagawa for a few years first. Only after completing the information can she return to Tokyo openly and without fear of anyone investigating. Speaking of which, her identity is still a problem. Everything is a mystery. Even Xiangjia, who picked her up, can't tell where she comes from. No one knows what problems such a child will have, so she can only do everything to protect her. However, Zhong He needs to get along well with his sister so that she will remember you as a brother when she comes back. I will give my sister all the delicious and fun things, and I will also buy gifts for her. He took out a small box from his pocket. I got it from my grandma yesterday after looking for it for a long time. You kid. You actually took something from your mother. Does Grandma know? Grandma knew about it, so she also wrapped the matching necklace and bracelet and gave it to my sister as a gift. These 2 grandsons. Sitting in the Japanese room in a formal manner, watching the old man serve tea, his big black cat eyes were watching his movements and gestures indifferently. Can you drink tea? Yeah. She didn't know the tea ceremony before. She was from Tian's mansion, not Wanhua Valley, and the rules of drinking tea were taught to her by Kamaya Mochizuki. Thank you. She raised the cup, smelled the aroma and tasted it, and drank it down in one gulp, as naturally as flowing water, with a unique momentum. The impure old man watched her drinking tea and couldn't find anything wrong with her. You are a smart child. Huh, why did he say this suddenly? Your parents have been married for more than 8 years without a child. Now that they have you, you are the eldest granddaughter of my Kamaya family. Why? Logically speaking, she is just a person of unknown origin. Are you sure? You have a good upbringing and are not from an ordinary family. Although I don't know why you were picked up by Xiangjia, I believe you will not hurt them. Yes. Since you agreed to enter the family tree, it proves that you have thought clearly. You can't go back. Yes. Live well here. The Kamaya family's tradition is very suitable for you. I can feel it. The character of the great family can be felt when she walks into this ancestral house. She can feel it without words, just by calming down. The Kamaya family deserves to be known as a century-old family. That's natural. He laughed heartily. You don't have to doubt that our family sincerely wants to accept you as our child, so you don't have to be wary of us. The hint was obvious. Yes, Grandpa. Okay, come with me to your grandma's place. She has prepared a lot of gifts for you. Patted her head. You would be happier like a child. You are too mature now, and it will make people feel weird. Thanks for the advice, Grandpa. Kamaya Mochizuki also asked her more than once to pretend to be a child, not to show her mature side, and to restrain herself. Let's go. By the way, your uncle and aunt have also prepared a lot of gifts for you. Go see if you like them.